Hello, I am Father Mike Ignashak, pastor at St. John Paul II Parish on the south side of Milwaukee. I want to welcome all our parishioners who are viewing this reflection and all our guests who have joined us online. Last week there was no reflection posted. I will try to continue these reflections on an almost weekly basis, but as different needs and activities arise at the parish, sometimes I must prioritize my response to these needs. School has started, although virtually until October 5th, and the Archbishop has just moved the Archdiocese into phase 2 of the Catholic comeback. Many of these gradual changes require time and attention to welcome people back while maintaining safe distancing. I want to encourage everyone to check out the Archbishop's statement about the expiration of the dispensation from Sunday Mass. It is available on the Archdiocesan and parish web pages and on the parish Facebook page as well. In light of the progression of our Catholic comeback, I want to reflect on one of the Christian virtues. This virtue is not listed in the Catechism, but is at the heart of the practice of our faith. Faithfulness, sometimes called fidelity. Our God is a faithful God. All of salvation history is a description of God's faithfulness and the human lack of faithfulness, and the way we learn to imitate God's faithfulness. God is faithful first to himself and to his nature as God. He cannot be other than he is. And Jesus revealed that nature of God to be infinitely loving. Our faithfulness is always a weak imitation of God's faithfulness. Being faithful means that we stay true to doing the right thing even when it is difficult. It might help to define faithfulness by looking at its opposite. The opposite of faithfulness is not unfaithfulness or infidelity. The opposite of faithfulness is indifference. Infidelity and unfaithfulness are individual lapses of human activity, and it is a failure in faithfulness, but it is not its opposite. The true opposite of faithfulness happens when we lose our sense of commitment, when we no longer care, when we become indifferent. When we act unfaithfully, our conscience bothers us, and we are internally nudged to ask for forgiveness. When we become indifferent, we no longer regret our unfaithful actions, and we just do not care. Our conscience shuts down. An extended time away from church and Mass can lead to indifference towards our faith. During this long time of the COVID-19 pandemic, indifference is a threat to our faith. We must guard against easily discounting our relationship to God and to the church. We need God. We need the community of the church. We need to attend Mass if it is safe for us to do so. Unfortunately, indifference has been growing among Catholics for some time. We fool ourselves into thinking we attend Mass regularly when our actual practice slips from most weeks to every other week, to once a month, to rarely. Statistics have shown that even before the pandemic, most Catholics were sadly not coming to Mass on a weekly basis. The problem is that indifference grows like a mold, quietly and overnight. We excuse ourselves once, perhaps for a good reason, and then we find it easier to excuse ourselves again, perhaps for a lesser reason, and again and again. We do not choose to be indifferent. We learn indifference as a result of the patterns of our lives. On the other hand, faithfulness is a choice. Every day, every week, I must choose to be faithful to my commitments, to my God, and to the practice of my faith. Faithfulness takes effort. It demands sacrifices. Indifference is easy. Faithfulness is costly. What the Archbishop is doing in not extending the dispensation for Mass is calling of us, all of us, to be faithful, to make the decision each day and each week to choose to be faithful to our commitment to God. For someone who is sick, the faithful response would be to stay home so that they do not infect others. For those who are vulnerable, the faithful response would be to stay home so that they do not fall prey to the virus and risk both their lives and the lives and health of others. For those who are well, but caring for those who are vulnerable, a faithful choice might be to stay home, since they cannot risk becoming carriers of the virus. For those who are well and feel safe enough to venture out shopping or to a restaurant, a faithful response to God probably includes attending Mass. Archbishop Listecki has called us to make up our own minds with a well-formed conscience. This is a level of decision-making that is unfortunately foreign to many adult Catholics. For those who are troubled by making this decision on their own, please call Father Esteban or me, and we can talk. I want to assure you that we are taking every precaution to make our celebrations of Mass safe for those who attend. We are also looking at ways to maintain that safe distancing as our numbers begin to rise. I want to assure everyone that your parish is here for you, whether you feel safe to attend Mass or not. You are important to us, and we long for the day when we can gather in the embrace of the parish and celebrate together as the family of God. Please stay safe, stay healthy, and know that we are truly blessed. I remain your pastor, Father Mike.